Okay, so we had a new week of GPP starting last week, 7 days ago today, but I ended up having an absolute nightmare of the week, so just doing what we do, getting back on the wagon first thing on Monday. So we've got a little bit of a new structure, or not a new structure, same structure for today's workout, same structure overall for the micro. We've just made a few adjustments to the sets, the reps, the intensity prescription, of a lot of the things that are staying in the program, and then there's a couple of new secondaries and tertiaries. So today you get to see what those are like. So full workout is listed on the left of the screen. Let's get into our Skin the Cat. So still got Skin the Cat in there. So the biggest thing I battled with the Skin the Cat was threading myself through and then hanging out in full shoulder extension. Like I couldn't go as far through and I couldn't hang out there, just let my body weight sort of sit into that nice passive stretch. And there was definitely a big part of that as well, is there was like a point of no return for me in terms of shoulder extension and thread myself through, whereas now I can thread myself through further, I can hang there, and I can also work my way back around. So still not easily getting through sets of 5 yet at this stage, but by the end of this month, I should be there. So really exciting progress on those. Skin the Cat, really awesome drill. So we've also got some David Gray hamstring bridges. So just trying to get those calves and hammies fired up, cooperating, and co-contracting, because they get the job done together. What's the job? Isometrically stabilizing the knee in a fixed position so our hips can express that power. Or like, even if it's not fully isometric, because sometimes I'll do some like oscillations, quasi-isometric at least. Oh, if you've never done this, sweet Lord, so intense. Oh. Oh my God. We're not even oscillating and it's already cooking me. So that sort of shit you can do to crank up the intensity and challenge the co-contraction. Okay, so get a load of this. So yeah, you can do the little wiggly boys, these ones, or you can like challenge the stability of it. Like I said, like I don't like to use the term stability because I'm like, it seems like a nebulous term. Like muscles don't stabilize, they contract at varying intensities and they can like, you know, lengthen in a controlled way. They can squeeze and contract isometrically or they can contract concentrically. So when people say stability, I feel like they mean isometrically contract. So one of the things we can do to perturb or challenge this isometric contraction, again, calf and hammies firing. And then I'm just gonna move this leg in the frontal plane with the idea that this shit is not moving. So disassociation. And you see I can kind of go to here and I'm stable. Anything beyond that, I start to kick my hip out. Let's try the other side. Let's see it. Holy shit, balls. Like, you know, is it stability or is it just task-specific coordination? I think alternating split stance leaps are one of my favorite Matt Watson drills, or drills that I got from Matt Watson. I know people have been doing split stance leaps for eternity, but like really emphasizing how they're a bridge across to single leg jumping and landing. Just the difference between leaping off 2 legs and then the single leg variation, it's just, you can overcome it, but it's just a large gap to sort of hurdle. God, words aren't coming through the brain and connecting to the mouth properly today, but we're just going to push through. Yeah, so it's really just like a B stance, just that leg there, just for a little bit of support. So alternating split stance leaps and then into our hop bound. A classic 6th week in the program now. Actually, maybe it's even the 10th week, but But it could be a while before hop bound leaves the program, and we'll just rotate things around us that continuously help us fill in those gaps that we're getting on our journey towards just hopping, ping tier hopping. That's where we want to get to. Actually, something I've been trying with a lot of my like extensive to intensive like warm-up leaping variations. I've been starting out with hands on the hips, and then I've been working the arms in as I warm up to increase the intensity. Because obviously arms, they give you momentum down into the ground, but then also off the ground. So we'll go hands on the hips for 2 sets, and then we'll start to wind them up. Knees over toes connoisseurs watching will notice that I'm actually really bad at dorsiflexing in the air. Someone tells me tibialis raises won't be the cure, but that's something that I'm mindful of when I'm doing these. I mean, just in general, you want to prepare yourself for ground contact and try to attack the ground before you're on the ground. You don't want the ground hitting you, you want to hit the ground. That's how you get that really reactive, elastic sort of plyometric effect. I'm just going to do another set and talk myself around in circles. Okay, so that was pretty much, I don't know, 8 to 9 out of 10 with no arms. And then I know I said I'd do 2 sets with the arms, but I'm just going to go another set with the arms at 8 or 9 out of 10 intensity. And then get into our first cruiser set of hop bound. Again, main thing we're looking for with the hop bound is getting that full contact, making the most of the foot, and then pushing that intensity till we just start to see me be like, no, slow down. Whereas, yeah, we're just trying to keep increasing that intensity while the body says yes. What does it look like when the body's saying yes to momentum? We're getting that cycling action. What does it look like when the body's like, no, slow down? Either like this, dipping the toe into cold water, or too much of this. Like, this is good if you're about to go into like redirecting into a vertical, and you can land relatively close to the heel, but you don't want to see like this action. It's really like this sort of land, and even like a bit of the ball of the foot before the heel, like that's all fine as well. We're avoiding extremes. The extremes apply braking forces. The middle ground, our body's saying yes more. Looking pretty sporty today. Okay. All right, let's get to it. Hop bound, full foot contacts, no braking forces or minimal braking forces. It's probably went a little bit too intense for my first set there. But I was happy with how intense I went and still getting full foot contacts. But we'll hang at this intensity for a couple more sets. So that's the other thing, like bounding by definition is just a little bit more horizontally oriented, hopping a little bit more vertically oriented. Again, you can do hopping or bounding with a horizontal or vertical emphasis, but when you just do them, that's the direction that they naturally push you in. Something for me as well in that first set, I went way too horizontal emphasis, brought back a little bit more vertical emphasis, and it felt a lot better. Because obviously, like if you're worried about braking forces, like I really feel like my ability to generate force horizontally outweighs my ability to handle those forces upon interacting with the ground. So yeah, maintaining the intensity, sending a little bit more of the intention straight up and down. All right, we've got 3 more sets to go. You're in this one. Is that okay?
Yeah.
What are you working on today?
I've got 3 sets of 8 shoulder press and 4 cleans.
Wait, this is Chich. What's your total quickly? Just go SBD.
670 gym, 660 comp.
260 squat, 150 bench, 260 dead?
Yeah,
250, something like that. All right, let's see his power clean technique. If this man could get his elbows up, he'd power clean 160. You see, strong people like my man Chich, they're friends with the ground, we call it. A lot of his dramas occur when he's forced to leave the ground and he avoids his duty to leave the ground, he tries to stay in contact. He's an earthbender, as Jack Edwards would call him. Do you watch Avatar?
Yeah.
Does the earthbender thing resonate with you?
Very much so. Mid stance.
The more vertical emphasis feels so good on this. I mean, like I said, the hopping is the thing that I struggle with. The vertical thing is the thing that I struggle with. Makes a lot of sense, this approach, that it's helping me. All right, let's go for a couple more sets, and then we'll get into our clean and jerk. All right, seeing as we got a big track session coming up tomorrow with Joey and maybe Sam, I think that's all I'm going to thrash my shins with for today. Anyone who's been keeping up has known that I've absolutely eaten shit on my jerks lately, so the goal today is CJ 120 at all costs or go home and cry. Maybe even if I only do 120, probably still go home and cry because I want to hit 140 before I go away in 2 weeks. Historically, I've been a good jerker. I just need to remember who you are. We just did 60, so we'll go 90, 100, 110, maybe 115, 120. But then if I take 115 and miss that, I'll cry. Because currently in my head, I've got this idea that I'm just missing 120s, whereas if I miss a 115, I might fully unravel. Felt really good. I'm going to 110. And we're going to take the biggest shit on 120. I was a bit nervous about the 140 clean and jerk is happening. All right, so I already done my first set of squats, so it's a 5x2, I think like roughly RP 8. So we should see, you know, like I said, we're just looking to get in some heavy doubles with a couple of reps left in the tank on every set. So I'm doing these beltless, just mainly a load management strategy. Went really heavy on cleans and got a lot of heavy lifting, like definitely got a lot of overshooting planned, especially towards the back end of this month. So just really trying to stay in the pocket where it feels reasonable to do so. So the squats, like as long as I'm squatting consistently and I'm not absolutely sandbagging them, the leg strength will be where it needs to be to clean and jerk 140. We might not have abundant leg strength. Sorry if I've been drifting away from the mic. Anyway, so like I guess a good working weight for these would be anything between 125 to 135. It's probably going to be around that 125 mark. All right, let's go. Let's just cut to the work sets. I think I might be having a responsible moment here. I'm just going to go 120 for the first work set. And I don't know how compelled I'm going to feel to go up after this. We might just hang here for another 4 sets. yeah, it didn't feel good. I'm not going to lie, but it makes sense. We're getting into the deep part of the session. I didn't feel appropriately for this workout. So that's the other thing. Not only is inconsistency got to me, but just not managing my externals. It's the things outside of training that I need to regain control of. Not just the work schedule, but like my eating. Still haven't been able to put any weight on since I had a couple of rough weeks leading into that powerlifting comp. But it is what it is. Can't get that time back, so just need to head straight to the supermarket after this and fill the tummy with meat, rice, vegetables, high fatty, calorie dense things outside of that. Like, because just the thing that turns me off bulking, or one of the things that turns me off bulking, other than just I'm just overeating huge volumes of food, it's so hard to fit in like fibrous veggies and things like that, because that's all the slow digesting stuff, but that's all the stuff that you need to eat. I think that's like a big rock of being a healthy person. Anyway, I didn't mean to yap about eating your veggies in between like undershooting these squats, but streams of consciousness, it is what it is. All right, it felt like I did a nang after I came up from that second rep. I just had that ringing in my ears, listening to my body. I go down to like 115. I don't want to go much lower than 120. Bad for the self-esteem. But you know what's good for the self-esteem? Making progress. Sometimes, you need to take that L in the session to get the big W later. Okay, so we've been running the 2 times a week bench frequency, but trying to get an intensity stimulus and a volume stimulus in both of those bench workouts, so top set and back off set, rather than approaching it from a low rep, high intensity, like I said, intense day and a volume day over those 2 exposures. Trying to get both stimuli 2 times a week. Normally I would run the top single and the back off sets on the bench because I just need to get those reps in, but just today I just want to get a mean chest pump, so I'm going to do my back offs on dumbbell press. All right, let's see what we can hit for this top single. Anything 90 kilos and above, we're happy with that. Tiers if it's lower than that, and then it'd be nice to work with like 30 kilo plus dumbbells for sets of 8, but that might be ambitious, so let's see how we go. While I don't necessarily feel I feel like I've gained a little bit of strength, everything feels more consistent, and yeah, all my reps are feeling more similar. So that's an aspect that I was looking to progress on with bench, just having a feeling of consistency. And like a big part of that was me trying a bunch of different setups, but you just need to work through that with reps, and then you find something that clicks. Like it's a bit of persistence, but it's also like you'd have to search for it a little bit. Like the big rocks for me, like I said, just trying to stretch my pecs on the descent, really load my pecs. And keeping the bar in the outside, the heel on my palm, that feels like the most stable point to press from. Let's put it into action. So when I'm talking about like what's my arbitrary line between like a volume or an intensity sort of focus, I guess it's like a set of 5 is that midway point where it's like sets of 5, it's still considered a real strength, good stimulus for the nervous system, but then also like a decent enough hypertrophy stimulus because it's above 4 reps. So what I might do, just because I can't be asked calling for a spotter today, we all have those days where we just, my social cup today is not as full as it would normally be just because of the week I've had. So I'll go for a set of 5 at 90 if it's feeling good. So definitely going to bank at least 3 reps at 90. If we're feeling really good, push it to 5, and then we'll go down to our dumbbell press for back offs. I'll be stoked with that. I think my butt was only on the bench for the first rep, but I'll take it. To give out some fucking dumbbell bench tips. Got a fucking 16-year-old beside me who's more jacked than me, but This is why you just got to be brave, and you just got to talk about what you need to talk about. So we'll see. We'll hit 20 kilos for a warm-up set. I don't need a warm-up set, do I? Let me try to find a work set straight away. Let's just go for 30. So 30 for a set of 8, that'll be good for me. I think this kid's like a lateral raising the fucking 25s beside me. All right, that was fucked. I just failed that. I wasn't getting the kind of stretch I wanted. I was just trying to make the 32s work. Couldn't find the 30s in the rack. Also set up way too close to that guy. I always try to rip a bit of incline on my dumbbell presses, just because it feels good. Like obviously sacrifice a little bit of weight, but just trying to wrap my pecs around my sternum as best as I can. That was a much better set. We actually felt like a really nice stretch there. Again, I don't want to be chasing weight with my back off, so I just want to be chasing consistent technique, progression over time. But again, the goal is not just to slap on as much weight as possible. We're stretching and squeezing with our back off sets. 27 points. All right, I'm going to crush out one more set of those, and then we'll get into our ab finisher. All right, so my microphone ended up cutting out for this part of the workout, but this is our ab finisher, which is abs 2 ways over the bench. So starting out with the lower abs and then finishing up with the sit-up variation to roast the top abs. If you want to train like this, head down to the notes below and grab yourself a free week of GPP. All right, now we're off to Tuesday's track session. All right, I'm back at the track with the powerlifters and the bobsledders. And going to do some early acceleration work. Well, actually, I think the fast people are doing tempo work in the middle of the field because they don't want to blow their shit up. But I'll be doing some early acceleration work. And who knows what else we'll get up to. I also have my parents are up babysitting my niece, and my brother's given them some grass spikes and some track spikes. So look forward to some block sessions. All right, I'm going to cut to the warm-up. And then, yeah, so we're going to do some 10 to 20 meter flyers, 20 to 30s. I might push it to a 30 to 40, but nothing more than that because my calves and my legs are a little bit sore. That's what I'm going to get. That's your shoulder. Yeah. That's a fun. Just let me know if you've ever said anything.
Let's move my arms.
Based on you.
Like when I'm forward.
I was so close to doing that for 5 years. Because it was like slept. Sam's picked up on the movement of the wind. He's telling us that it's blowing from south to north, so that's the way we're running, trying to get a nice illegal wind advantage.
I love the little gallop. I guess
So that's faster than I've ever run in my life.
That's it. Do you honestly reckon that was a 6?
Yeah. We're trying to wind him up to put on a display of 10 meters a second for us.
Alright,
I don't think it's that big of a deal. He did a rolling 10 to 20 and he hit 1.01.
Reset?
I think we're good to go. I'm pretty sure we're reset, good to go.
I'll go 8 to 9 on this, and
8 to 9 so soon.
yeah.
Oh, let's do it. I'll try to make this look good.
20. Yeah, I'll build in with a skip and then.
Sick.
Yeah.
What was it?
0.9.
Fuck. Wow, 10 meters a second. I mean, Joey already gave it to us one time, but to be able to see sub 10 on request. Yeah, you absolutely smoked it.
What RPE?
After doing that, what do you reckon?
A little in the tank.
What would your ceiling be for today?
I'll see. Your hammies feel alright, but I'll have a little bit more rest and maybe I'll go in there for 9. Shoot that off the side. Go, Joey!
1.03.
That's so slow.
What was it?
1.339.
So it was a little bit slower. Didn't feel phenomenal technically.
Yeah. Way faster. Come on, Sam. Come on. What was it? 1.14. 3.5. What was it? 3.5. Oh yeah. Strides were shorter.
Alright, so I said I wasn't going to do max velocity, but I'm just going to back it back to 40, 50 or 60 meters. Give myself 2 all-out attempts. Alright, so all these times are terrible because I was absolutely gassed by this point in the session, but thanks for watching this far. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment if you enjoyed the video.